to refinance out the SCR, and then after that, I'm gonna rent it out as a lease option. So I'll be getting a little bit of cash flow. I'll be able to keep the asset, and then I'm also going to be paid, upfront quite well, from the refinance, and then also from the lease option, the option fee that I get for whoever rents it out.
I love it, dude. Love that you got the whole plan put together, man. And you're going to check it out in person. That's exciting for you.
Yeah, yeah, no. So actually, like 2 weeks ago, it was actually when I went and seen it in person for the first time. I flew down there for a couple days. Um, Today I actually have to drive down there because tomorrow I have to get everything finalized to close. We were supposed to close on Monday, but unfortunately, the lady who's supposed to sign to close, she had like a freak accident, bro, and
No.
she got like severely burned and was like airlifted to like another hospital in another city. So
Man.
yeah, it was insane, right? And she's back
Wow.
home now, but tomorrow I have to meet the mobile notary to get her side of the paperwork finished and done, and then take that in, and then sign my the rest of my half because I already signed a little bit, but I got to finish up a couple more papers. Um,
Cool,
and
man.
then yeah, dude, I got to get the GC in there. I got to put a garage door on there. I got to clean out the property, get that all set up. So
Nice. So you're going out to
pretty
do
cool.
something yourself. That's exciting, dude.
So yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna clean out the property myself just because like it's not that much. I mean, dumpster is only like $400, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get that out of the way while I'm there. I got a guy who's gonna fix the garage door for pretty good price. I got a locksmith coming out there so I can change all the locks. I got a GC I'm meeting on Friday that's going to give me my estimate and start the work on Monday. He said he should be able to start. So trying to just get the
I
ball
love it.
rolling, bro.
I love that you're taking action on it, keeping it moving quick. A lot of people be like, "Hey, help me. What do I do next?" But you're just busting it. So I love that.
Hell, man, I'm trying to get it done, man. You already know, bro. I gotta because since I didn't use any of my own money, I have to get it finished and ready to be sold. I mean, rented out as soon as possible. You know what I mean?
Right. Of course. No time to waste. That's for sure.
No time at all.
Cool, bro. Definitely. I'm excited for you to get all the way over here. First off, we're able to meet in person, but then secondly, we'll be able to really lock in and see how we can do more deals together. We're generating a
100,
bunch.
100%, bro. I seen that you posted that there was a meetup in Tampa.
Yep. Yep. Starting next month, really kind of tonight, but I'll be really playing a little bit more of a leadership role in these events. Obviously, I have the ability to make movement, get people to come do things and join us and all of the noise that we make on social media. So I'll be leading the Tampa meetup a little bit more as we
Well,
move forward.
sweet. I'll definitely be at the next one, bro. I can't
Nice.
catch this one because I won't be there, but I'll be at the next one 100%.
For sure. I'm actually also going to the Orlando meetup tomorrow night. Um, it's a couple hours from me. It's about a 2 hour drive from where I'm at down here in Sarasota. But this game is all about meeting people. It's all about the networking. So whenever I go shake hands and meet people, we generally create opportunities to get deals done. I can't remember the last time I went to a meetup and didn't find somebody, at least one somebody that I was able to do some kind of collaboration with. So
Right. Hell yeah, bro.
well, we got some new names in here. Love to see you guys here. If you guys want to jump on camera, let me know. I could promote you to a panelist and let you chat. Let's see who I recognize here. First off, Devin, nice to have you here today, brother. How you feeling? I know you made a bunch of calls yesterday, getting a little frustrated hitting the voicemails, huh?
Yeah, but actually, that post that I did on Facebook ended up reconnecting me with one of my buddies from back in DFW, and he's actually an agent out there. He's a unicorn agent, so me and him are supposed to talk tomorrow, and he does
Love it.
investing and stuff. So
You never know where it's
we're
going to come from. Spent all day making calls, frustrated with the voicemails, make a post about it, then you find what you were looking for. That's what I love about. That's what I love about the game. Rewards you right when you think you weren't going to get it.
I've got some duplexes that are local to me that need to, from what I've seen on the comps and stuff, they actually meet the 70% rule as far as what they're estimating. I had a wholesaler that brought them to me, and they were actually looking at taking them down for themselves and adding it to their portfolio, but they're a little overextended on their funds. So they were just throwing them out. But it's 2 duplexes and they're trying to get 420K for them. And with the 70, they're saying about 40,000 per duplex to get them up to market ready. So 80,000. They're about 10,000 over as far as once you do the 70% minus repairs.
Mhm.
So it's coming in at like 410,000 if those numbers are actually hard and fast and doable.
So locked up by another wholesaler, or the wholesaler was just speaking to the seller?
They've got the contract,
You do.
so
Okay.
it's locked up by them. But they're trying to move it. So
And remind me which market is local to you?
I'm in East Tennessee, Knoxville, Oak
Knox-
Ridge, that area.
Knoxville. I knew that you were in Tennessee, so Knoxville, Tennessee. Okay. That actually, I got a lot of people from Sub 2 that I have connected with that are looking to buy across Tennessee. So I'm interested to see a little bit more and see if we can't help potentially make a dispo happen there. If you
Yeah.
want to, we can talk about it a little bit more after this.
Yeah, I've got the files and stuff on it. So the pictures, they were supposedly doing a walkthrough this morning. The properties are currently tenant occupied. But from what I've seen comp wise in the area, there's been 2 others. There's one that's pending at like 370 and one sold back in, I believe, May this year for like 349 or 340. So they were saying ARV for both of them is 700.
I wouldn't just buy it off the top of my head. I would definitely want to look deeper.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was trying to get in contact with some contractors, get somebody to actually go out and take a look, but
Yeah.
I verified the comps as far as went and looked at the comps and what is actually pending and what's actually sold. So
So it's local enough to you that you could go walk it yourself and check it out.
yeah,
Cool. Yeah, so that's good. I have if you can get pictures and videos of everything there, I have Brandon Gibson, one of my partners who he's a GC. We're partnering on some fix and flips and actually going to be using this as a leverage point to be able to help others within the community as we've talked about people. Once we generate some deals, if certain ones make sense to move on a fix and flip, Brandon and I will be able to help facilitate those things happen. And so if you can get the visuals, he can give us a more specific idea of what it might cost. And
Yeah.
if you don't have or can't find a direct person that you have or trust already, he has the ability to either, I'm not sure if he's in Tennessee right now, but he can probably he can definitely get us a project manager or some other GC that he's connected to make that happen too.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll turn around and send the stuff over and let you take a look at it. I mean, the pictures that they've got are current. They already did one walkthrough. They said they were going to do another this morning. So
Okay.
I'll see if they've got updated pictures from this morning.
Well, that'll be perfect then. You don't even gotta go do it. Awesome. Well, there we go. Amanda, I know you messaged me on Facebook a few minutes ago. You've got a lead that you're looking at. You think it looks like a deal. Let's chat about it a bit. First off, it's in New Jersey, you said?
Yeah, it's in New Jersey. I am out of New Jersey, and one of Pace's videos, he says like start with your local marketplaces. You can like put feet on the ground and stuff like that. So I just started looking close to home.
There we go. Okay, do me a favor. Send me the address on Facebook so that I can look at it. I'll pull it up and we'll talk it through a little bit without throwing the address out here on live.
No problem. I actually already have it ready to go. So it's coming your way now, and it's on Zillow. I actually already talked to the owner. It's a single family 3-bedroom. He is looking to get rid of it. He's got other properties as well. He's selling it like what I would say on the low. It's based on the pictures, it's definitely a fix and flip type of deal. It would need work. It's already got tenants in it that he's trying to like evict. So like there's that. I told him to, keep up with me, let me know what happens with that. He has an offer on it already too, for 210. He's like looking to get 225 out of it. And I was thinking, if I can get him the 225, then, you know, obviously he would take that over the 210. And I was thinking like a wholesale deal on it. The ARV, from what I've come to understand, other houses in the neighborhood have already sold for like almost $100,000 more than this house. So it looks like a deal to me, but I'm not like, you know, the comp expert. So
Okay. You already spoke to the owner. That's this Ben guy. Is that the right?
yeah,
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm looking at the right property here. Just want to make sure. I have the benefit of being able to use one of our community leaders. Anna she's a realtor and has access to RPR. Was able to get me as an assistant, so I can look a little bit more thoroughly at what it looks at here. So when I pull this up, this platform basically gives us a actual market value based off of things in the market. So this, you said he has an offer right now at what?
210, and it's
210.
listed for 225.
It's listed for 225.
Yeah.
Is it listed? Where is it listed at? On Zillow or like actually listed on the market?
I found it on the for sale by owners site. That's where I've been looking, so I can go straight to owner. They list their phone numbers and stuff like that. But he's got it listed in a couple different spots. But he one of the listings says no, basically like he doesn't want agents. He doesn't want people trying to get fees off of it or anything like that. So he's looking to sell direct to whoever wants to buy it.
Got it.
So I
So
thought that
what I
would
can
be like
tell
a good.
you for sure, first off of that feedback, is that if he's looking to sell it to whoever's looking to buy it as an end buyer, his pricing is going to be higher than where we would want to be at to be able to make money as a wholesaler. So and which doesn't mean it's a dead lead, but what that means is there has to be some change in that, right? So when I look at this, what this platform tells me is 161,000 as far as an actual value, which is give or take, right? So this is going to be as is. Some of this might like, I don't know where somebody would offer 210 when I just immediately look at this deal. But then just to kind of carry out how I would look through this, it is a 1,400 square foot house, right? So the next step, if we want to look at, if we got to rehab it, if it's going to be a fix and flip, okay? So let me see if I don't have pictures of it. Let's say it was had to be a full gut rehab, which I don't think it's going to be that hard. But just to give you guys that are on here listening an idea of this kind of factor, right? So if it's going to be a full gut rehab, everything's got to go and be changed. We're going to look at $40 per square foot. So I'm going to do 40 times 1,440 gives us a rehab budget of 57,600. Now, if it's going to be more of a mid-range, you might look at 25 to 30. These numbers are going to vary for some people. I'm always going to err a little bit higher because I would rather overestimate than underestimate for sure, right? So let's do $25 per square foot times 1,440 mid-range, putting at about 36,000. Excuse me. I've sent so many voice messages over the past couple days, I'm losing my voice. Let's see one more time. 1,440 times, let's say it was a super light renovation, then we're going to say maybe $15 per square foot. That's 21,600. So I'm going to go ahead and assume it's probably more in the middle ground. It doesn't seem like it needs to be a full gut rehab. Have you looked at pictures of it recently?
Yeah, if you go on the Zillow
Oh yeah, I didn't look on Zillow.
listing, then there's pictures you can scroll through it. It looks worn. It looks lived in. It looks like maybe somebody had a dog or something. And I wouldn't say like, you know, we're gonna have to pull everything out, but there's definitely gonna have to be some patchwork. And I flip houses now for somebody else. So just looking at it, I could say like, yes, definitely gonna need some work in there.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely lean towards the 40, right? So I don't know where he's getting this number at. I mean, I think he would, well, I could tell it's been sitting for 88 days. He ain't gonna get nowhere close to this number. So this guy is gonna have to come to some kind of realization. I mean, just by looking at this property, what you can tell off the jump is it's an ugly house. It's not like it might be able to rent out right now. Like it's an ugly house. It's a need a rehab house. And when you look at it, you know that, which means he's asking a full market value and like what it seems like is a full market value after rehab price. Like That's a very high number for this property. Without looking too extensive, like there's absolutely no way he's going to get this. I think that like we said right now, around 160 would be right now. I think that we would want to get this house like 100 and 100, 120, right? Like he's way off of where it would need to be at. Because if we're gonna have to put $60,000 in it, and then I haven't really looked at any comps yet in Williamstown, New Jersey. I don't have, do you have comps for this property, Amanda?
That I don't really know like the comp side of it, but I did look at other houses like close to that and what they sold for recently, and it was
That's
probably like 100,000 more.
Okay, so let's talk about comping a little bit too. So when you're looking at comping, what you're going to want to do is you're going to find houses as close to the property that you are looking to find a value for as possible. So if it's 3.2, you want to find a 3.2 if it's at all possible. If it's 1,400 square feet, you want to get as close to 1,400 square feet as you can. Same size, lot size, as many of the stats as possible, you want to get them to align. That's what it comes to comping, right? You also want to make sure that your distance is as small as possible. Half a mile, a quarter mile, right? The closer, the better, right? Because it's going to be more reflective of the direct neighborhood and the way that things actually move in that neighborhood versus you mess around and take a comp for the same size house, same 3.2 house a mile away, it might be a totally different neighborhood. If it's across a main street, if it's across a railroad track, all of these factors change in comping. So you want to stay as close as possible. Of course, another factor is going to be the year that the house was built. So this house was built in 1920, right? So if we're going to look at, if we're going to compare, we want to stay within a rough window, maybe slightly older, 1905, 1910, 1915, right? Or maybe slightly younger, so 1930, 1935, roughly a 15-year window. Either way would be the best comps that we can find. If you can't, then obviously you have to work with what you have, and that's where properties get more difficult to get um, an exact number on it. But that's a general idea of how to comp. Actually, what this lets me know is on our next deal maker session, which normally would be tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'll see if one of the other community members can lead that, but I have the meetup in Orlando. Maybe I'll do it on the G Money Machine either tomorrow or Friday, but we'll do a little bit deeper outline. We'll bring a few properties that we've generated via like leads via the call center and stuff, and we'll actually do a full comping for you guys. But when you're looking at that, Amanda, basically that's what your next steps with this lead would be is like go pull up if you have PropStream or another platform comparable, PropWire, things like that. You want to find what houses just like this have sold for recently within the area. What was the condition of those properties as well, right? Was it the same condition or was it rehabbed and then sold at a significantly higher price? That's going to tell us what it might be worth after we sell it, right? So you want to look a little bit closer at what has sold, not just this one sold for $100,000 more. That's good. It's a good start, but we need to know the details of that property, right? Maybe that house was 2-3 bedrooms bigger, right? Like let's look deeply and make sure that it's the same. And then if you have some of that, shoot that to me via Facebook as well. We'll go back and forth a little bit. That way I'll help you keep reviewing it and we'll determine if there's actually something there we can do.
Okay, sounds awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for bringing something to talk through. I look forward to seeing what we got here. Let's see. I also saw Sherry had a question. Would it be 40 per square foot if no AC needs new roof? New roof is, so 40 per square foot is going to be a full gut rehab, right? It could be more, it could be slightly less. What we're doing a quick initial comping. I'm not going to go that deep, right? To answer your question, Sherry, what I want to look at early on is, and this is exactly how I review deals, in case you guys are wondering, exactly how I review deals. When wholesalers send me something, I'm looking at it. Does this make sense as a fix and flip? First and foremost, is this a fix and flip property? If that's what we're looking at, I'm going to immediately pull the square footage of the house and I'm going to look at what is a top end rehab going to have to look like, right? What is $40 per square foot? What is that biggest number? And then I'm going to find a couple different, like I just showed you guys, a couple different tiers. Like we did a middle level, right? Almost never do I get things sent to me that are going to be light rehab. Most of the time people move on those quickly. So with that being said, I'm going to look at it. Where's the price? What's it going to take on top of that? What am I going to be able to sell it for? I'm going to make that analysis in like less than 3 minutes, probably. As long as it takes me to load it up, and put it into the platform to be able to see. And even on Zillow, you don't even need RPR. Go to Zillow, pull it up, and see what does the customer see? What does the seller see, right? Because you got to keep in mind, where is the homeowner finding their value? They're not going to the county tax record. They're not going on PropStream. They're going and put their address in on Google, and Zillow is the first thing that's going to pop up. They might jump around to a couple other platforms like you guys do as well. Realtor.com is going to give them a slightly different number. Some of them might look deeper, but the average is going to just look at Zillow and determine what it's worth. So when you go look there, understand that that's going to be a pretty good marker, right? Their neighbors is another good point, Sherry. A lot of times people will base what they think it's worth based off what they told their neighbors or what they heard their neighbors sold it for, which isn't always true, isn't always accurate. There's different reasons why, but just if they're looking quickly for a number, they're going to pull up Zillow, right? So use that as just a easy reference point. We're not going to say it's exactly right, but it's an easy reference point to start. So if I take the Zillow price and I add the rehab, whatever that we're saying that this is going to be, and it doesn't leave at least honestly, like at this point, we don't really look to move on a fix and flip that's not going to be more than 100,000 spread. But a lot of fix and flippers would look at 40 or $50,000 or more being kind of their minimum. I'm not doing as many as a lot of people, so we just would rather cherry pick ones that are larger. But that's just a general play on it, right? So if you're looking at this as a fix and flip, you can easily run some math and say, all right, this guy's numbers are way high. Either this has to come down, potentially something creative. Doesn't, based off your initial sharing, it doesn't sound like he would seem like the kind of guy that's super open to that, but it doesn't mean you can't position it. The more you build a relationship, the more opportunity you might have with that. Who else we got in here? What's up, man? See you jumped in here. We got Carla. I got iPhone and Zoom user. Nice to meet you guys. Let's allow you guys to talk and introduce yourself if you want to. Got Jalen in here as well. Jalen, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, my man. I'm blessed as always. No complaints.
Yes, sir.
On your side, you've been getting some leads flowing?
I'm starting to. I just got accepted into Deal Makers last night, so I made a few calls. I haven't necessarily got anything like where it's seeming like the person is completely open, but I honestly assume that, like you said, just building a relationship a little bit more.
Yep. There we go. Well, good. I'm glad we got you in. We'll get, if you haven't already received it, we'll get you, depending on which direction you want to go. Either you want to go creative, you want to shoot towards agents, or you want to go direct to seller. Either way is cool. We got lots of opportunities to call through. Have you got assigned to a team yet? I think you're going to be on Bain's team. I think I just assigned you this morning.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I got assigned or not yet. I haven't heard anything from any team lead or nothing. So
let me check real quick. What's up, Bain? You on here, brother? Yeah, you're on here.
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing, dude?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Let me see if we got Jalen on your team. I'm pretty sure.
I added him. He should be in the group.
Cool. All right, perfect. So then Jalen, reach out to Bain. He'll get you some leads assigned to you in the CRM. We'll get you access to the CRM probably today still. If you just got accepted last night, you probably haven't got that sent yet.
yeah, sure.
And then you get to rocking. But also chance to talk on some other things. I just recorded some videos for you guys the other day. I've been talking about these things on live for every day for months. So sometimes I'm like, don't think about the fact that I should just record it one time so you guys can reference it a little bit easier. So I made a very, very quick, like each one of them is 10 minutes or less video on a couple different strategies. The first one is Zillow, right? How to leverage Zillow to find agents to outreach to for properties that have been sitting on market for a long time, as well as how to target homeowners, for sale by owners that you might potentially be able to outreach and create conversations with. Then there is what did I do here? Facebook Bandit strategy. That's one you guys probably hear me talk about the most. This is pretty straightforward. Sometimes people make this overcomplicated, but essentially going into Facebook groups, right? Amanda just mentioned targeting your local area. Exactly that. So go find your local city, go search groups like buy, sell, trade, or garage sale, or whatever it might be. Places where people who own homes might spend time, right? And then we're just going to go make a quick little post. Hey, I'm a local investor looking for my next fixer upper. I pay referral fees, or looking to buy a house in the area. Who has one for sale that's not listed? You want to throw that kind of detail out there. Otherwise, you're going to get bombarded with a million agents, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But if you're looking for cash deals, if you're looking for direct to seller, and you just say who's got something for sale, you're going to have every agent in town that's just trying to sell you their current stuff, which again, play it as you might. Maybe it's an opportunity to create conversations. It definitely is a chance to create conversations. Just know that what you post, the verbiage that you post is going to determine what kind of results, what kind of responses that you get. So test different things. Don't go water down all the same groups at one time. So don't go post in the same group every day. Find some local groups in like your state level, and then look at maybe the county, then the city, and your local town, or whatever different little crossroads you might have that you can search. You want to find smaller groups. Is the funny thing about this approach is the smaller the group, the less competition you'll have, because other people that do this, this is not proprietary, guys. I didn't make this up. I just called it something cool. There's a lot of people out there doing it, and so you'll see a lot of others. The larger groups, there's going to be a lot of other people doing it. Then you go to the next level and there'll be some more people doing it. And you go lower and there'll be some people doing it. And the deeper you go, the less competition you'll have. That's the funny thing, is if you just go further, you'll beat most of your competition most of the time. So you go find a group that's got 200 people, 300 people in there, right? It's going to be very small. It's going to be very close knit. The better you get at this, the more you'll learn that you don't just go dive right into the group and say, hey, here, give me something I want. Instead, you go into those kind of groups, you build a little rapport, you comment on something, you share something of value, maybe outside of what you're doing. Again, this is marketing. So a lot of you all found me from a post that I put in Pace's group, but once you get into my ecosystem, you'll see, if not already, I'm everywhere in all these groups all the time, commenting on everything we can, posting as much as we can, offering value, right? Because I'm building value there, and I'm creating connections that in turn I run a similar strategy, but to reach investors, to reach wholesalers, to reach people that we can help, right? So you see me make the same kind of post that you saw in Pace's group. It was very short, to the point, shared what I wanted you to understand, and it got a lot of response. You can do the same kind of things in these local groups. So that's the Facebook Bandit strategy. The third one was essentially the same as Zillow, but on Facebook Marketplace. Also very watered down by other wholesalers and investors. So not as efficient as it used to be, but there is absolutely ways that you can generate leads right now today for $0 outside of the cold calling opportunities. Obviously, we've got a whole bunch of data for whoever wants to jump on the phones and call or text or whatever that looks like for you. But there's other ways using social media that you can generate leads as well that I see people do very, very well in. Who else we got here? Who wants to chat with me today? We got, what was it, 12:30? Who's got some questions or comments or a deal they want to break down? Oh, we got Mona in here. Allow you to talk. I got to know who iPhone is. And I got to know who Zoom user is.
So I might be iPhone Garrett, or I might be Zoom user. This is Gregory from Facebook. I've been trying
Your
to change
iPhone.
it. I've been trying to change it the whole time, but I don't know what the hell is going on. like literally, because when I be on some other webinars, I'm able to change it, but I'm not able to change it in here. But
that's
yeah.
probably on my side for some reason, some kind of setting out.
Yeah, I'll just change it in the Zoom settings. But yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Now I got you.
Looking forward to working with you guys.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself, man. Have you anything?
Yeah, so basically, like I told you in the direct message, I know you probably get a lot of them. I started wholesaling in the beginning of 2022. My first deal was crazy. I called a lady up, gave her an offer. She accepted right away. I said, okay, this wholesaling shit is easy, right? come to find out, so then she said, send me the contract. But I said, okay, I'll send it to you. Give me your email address. She was like, I don't do email. You can mail it to me. So I said, oh, okay. So then I ended up mailing her the contract. I called her about a week or two later. I said, did you get it? She said, no. So I was living in Fort Lauderdale at the time. So I ended up, I'm from Maryland. She was from Maryland. So I ended up driving back down to Maryland to kind of get my hands on the deal. Come to find out she had dementia. She was 90. Man, this was the craziest deal ever. I had to get her son involved and her daughter-in-law involved who lived in California. And this was a wild deal. Anyway, ended up closing the deal about 2 months later. Went through 2022, closed about 4 more deals. Kind of got, frustrated because I was doing it on my own solo. So kind of stopped. As of recent, I have been getting a lot of commercial deals. I still, get people send me deals, but I got this one broker in New Orleans who has a hotel in New Orleans that he's trying to offload, and has a prop. I think it's over 200 properties in a community that he's trying to offload as well. So that's what I got. Did I put everybody to sleep?
Ha! I'm over here talking. Ha ha ha. Talking. I said what I was trying to say was let's see how fast we get Bane to unmute there, right? Because those are some of the things that we've been talking about focusing on: portfolios and larger scale, commercial, more interesting properties. So tell me a little bit more about the hotel first.
So okay, the hotel is called forget the name of it. I can look it up real quick, but so the hotel, it already has bookings for Super Bowl in New Orleans. This is let me see if I can pull this up real quick.
You want to send the address on Facebook?
Yeah, I'll send you the address. I'll send you all the information. Basically, the way it's structured is, let me just pull it up because this was about a month ago. I'm pretty sure he hasn't offloaded it yet. But let me just look this up in terms of what the deal is. Yeah, let me just
Yeah. She said, Jalen made me laugh here in the chat with the what she said. Yes, there's Bane with the cell phone. Cool. Yeah, guys, feel free to reach out to him and get things locked in as well. While Gregory pulls this up. If you're not already friends on Facebook, one of the things about me, guys, while Gregory gets this loaded up here, is I'm all about social media, if you can't tell already, right? So as you come in here, one of the things that I would like to see a lot of you do is connect with each other and share it online, right? Because 2 things. First off, it manipulates the algorithm and it helps you get more exposure the more that you engage with each other. So if you make a post and all 12 people in here, 13 people that are in the Zoom right now, like it within a few minutes, it's going to say, hey, this is a good post. And they're going to go show it to a whole lot more people, right? So whenever you come in here, connect with as many people as you can. If you have a blink card or a way to fast, definitely drop it in the chat. And then y'all can build relationships outside of just what you get from value from me or from deal makers. You can find other touch points as well. So just wanted to mention that in regards to social.
Okay, I pulled it up. So the name of the hotel is 710 Baronne Hotel in New Orleans. Purchase price is $34 million. It's a total of 6 floors. It cannot be sold. Title can't transfer until November 2029 due to tax credits. Seller will enter into a 99-year lease at $1 a year until November 2029 when the tax credit expires. Floor through 6 is 25 units. Can be sold and title transferred at any time. The operator owner will have access to all 31 units, 88 beds, lobby, office, back of house. Partnership opportunity with Emile Langsy Restaurant located in the commercial retail condo space on the ground floor.
Hold up. I'm confused. So It can't transfer until
This-
29, right?
I'm sorry.
Y'all saw the
this is
ending,
what he
right? I'm
sent
like,
me. This is
what?
what he sent me.
All right, let's break it down more. Okay, so can't transfer until 29, November 29. So 5 years from now before the title can transfer. So he'll lease it on a 99-year lease at $1 a year. Okay. What's he want up front? I don't understand. I got
I
like
don't know.
I got like at least $30 that we can put into the next.
Right. Okay. So here it goes. Right. Two ownership scenarios: cash with lease purchase on floors 1 through 2 due to tax credits. Owner financing offer terms: master lease purchase option 34 million, down payment 10 million due at the execution of the lease agreement. Current debt 16 million with Resource Bank. The debt can be assumed on or before November 2026 when the loan matures, or it can be paid off before the maturity date by the new owner operator. Monthly payments approximately 125,000, equal to the amount of ownership is currently paying.
Send me this info and then let's jump on a one-on-one call because there's a lot of moving parts here when you break this down. But I mean, he's already open to some kind of financing. So then it comes down to like, what's the cash flow on it? And it doesn't make something that we could raise the debt for.
Right. Yep. And then he sent me 13 turnkey short-term rental condos for sale in
13 short-term rental condos.
yes, they're all broken down into different LLCs, so you can buy the LLCs. Seller financing terms: he wants 40% down, 60% seller finance, 8% interest rate, 7-year balloon. And this is in Florida. This is in let me just tell you where in Florida. It's in St. Augustine, Florida.
St. Augustine. That's like one of the
Yeah.
old places in the country.
St. Augustine, Florida. And then yeah, that's what I got so far from him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
One thing about this, he definitely knows his seller finance terms. 40% down and then still at 8% interest is very standard terms, right? Like
Right.
we would want obviously much better terms. 40% down leans towards something like a Morby method that we've talked about a ton over the past couple of days, so I won't go into that.
Right.
At 8% interest, I don't know how much it would cash flow. That sounds very expensive.
Yeah. I got the information on that. And the other thing about the hotel in New Orleans, there recently became a abandoned school behind it that he wants to kind of sell with it, and you can turn that into, I guess, a
Bane, you got to turn your mic on. All right, Bane, you got to.
he said you can turn that into what do hotels have essentially that maybe this 6th floor hotel doesn't have, but
the
something
amenities and stuff.
yeah,
Cool.
like amenities, things of that nature, right? And the school is owned by the city of New Orleans.
Oh, it's owned by the city. So we got to try to acquire that. The school was what caught my attention. I know literally like an hour ago, me and Bane talked about schools and churches being converted to multifamily.
Right.
I'm like, all right, this sounds cool. Definitely send me the information on this.
Yeah, I got you.
It's very if nothing else, I just want to understand this because it's like seeing it in front of me. It's hard for me to conceptualize. I see a little bit in the chat here. So I just wanted to point out because Carla had this question, so others might have as well. Yes, he did say a 99-year lease, right? At $1 a year, first off. So not a huge commitment. But the reason why is so that they could hold the tax abatement until, what'd you say it was, 29?
2029, yeah.
And then the title would be able to shift. So at that point, we would get out of that 99-year lease. So it's not like we're committing to, I mean, 99 years from now, I hope I'm still here kicking. That'd be pretty wild. If I was Chris Crone, I'd tell you for sure I was. That's what he told us at Clever Summit, that he's going to live to be 120. I'm like, you know what, boy? More power to you. We'll see how that goes. But
It's a
Cool.
nice hotel though. I saw the hotel. It's extremely nice. And like I said, they already have bookings for Super Bowl this year in New
Solid.
Orleans. So yeah,
Solid.
I'll send you all the information I have.
Yeah, cool. Do that, and then we'll chat a little bit more. Let me look what Terrell sent over here as well. All right. Let me look this up. First off, what's up, Terrell? How you doing, man? Let's chat while I load this up here.
What's up, Garrett? How's it going?
Wonderful, 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 man. How about yourself?
It's a beautiful day, man. I can't complain. You're out of Florida, right?
I am. Just outside Sarasota.
Sarasota. Okay. I'm actually based out of North Carolina. I'm doing virtual wholesaling out in Florida, Central Florida area.
Nice. What part of North Carolina?
I'm in the East Coast. I'm here in near Wilmington, about 3 hours south of Charlotte area.
Nice. Yeah, I grew up just outside of Charlotte. So North
That's
Carolina
awesome.
that we focus a lot on. It's been very, very hot recently.
Yes, it has, especially over the past couple years.
Sure. Let's see if I can find this address here. Multitasking is hard for me to talk and type. Use. This is Florida, I assume here.
This is Florida, yes.
Put this in.
Let me make sure I give you the right address. Did I give you 7705 or 7704?
7704.
Oh, okay. It's 7705. That's my bad.
All good, all good. Now I got it. So first off, tell me a little bit, where did you find this deal from? Was it from outreach that you did or from an agent or what?
So this was off a lead list I got from PropStream. So this, yeah, cold outreach.
Love it. So you cold called this person. So it's direct to seller, I take it.
Direct to seller. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, give me a rundown here. What's their motivation? This will help me determine. We'll talk about numbers, but like, give me what you know about it first off.
So the property is owned by an older lady. She wanted to sell mainly because she had a death in the family, and her son and daughter want to move out of Florida. So that's her main motivation to get it sold.
So death in the family. So
Yep.
looking to move. So what's their timeline on making this happen? First off, have they given you a timeline?
They haven't really given me a timeline, but they're definitely looking to close in the next 30 days. I actually have it under contract, and the
Okay.
IP ends in about 3 days.
Okay. So you already have it under contract. So there's that. Okay. So they got enough motivation. What do you have it under contract at?
I currently have it under at 296, but I am definitely gonna have to do a retrade. Some buyers I've talked to already, they're coming in about 270, 275.
Okay. All right. So first off, give me what you have. So what are you projecting as an ARV? Are you seeing this, I'm assuming, as a fix and flip? So
Yeah, fix and flip.
what's the rundown? Is it gonna need a full gut rehab? Just give me as much as you can.
Pretty much first estimates for rehabs. We're looking at 30K, kind of like a cosmetic one. It does need a roof. It's about 17 years old, but there's no damage to it. The house kept pretty well.
Okay.
As far as ARV, at first when I was first comping the property, I came about 460, but now that's kind of like at 420.
Okay. All right. And so you've already shown this to some buyers and they said that it needs to be a little bit lower, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple buyers came back around the same number pretty much.
Well, so here's what I can tell you, even without looking any deeper. If you had multiple buyers that came back and told you that, that pretty much is the what you need to lean in on. So then the next question is, what's your leverage with the seller, right? Where do you think that we're gonna be able to get them down low enough? So if they told you, the buyer told you, what'd you say,
Right.
275, that means you need to get them 265 and lower to be able to make any money on this as a wholesaler. So
Right.
what's the leverage like? What's the conversation or the relationship like currently?
It's a pretty good relationship. I talk to the seller pretty much daily. I mean, she's looking to, of course, move, and she told me her plans and where she's wanting to go. And I told her, and she pretty much asked me if I can help her find another place. So we've got a pretty good relationship. I told her I can help her out.
Okay.
And she originally wanted 300 for it, all cash. So we try to kept it close, keep it pretty close to it. But I feel like maybe we can get her down below that 270 mark.
What about creative? Have you spoken to her at all about creative finance?
I have not actually. Creative's kind of new for me. I'm not sure if I fully understand it. I understand the gist, but
Well, thank you for
presenting
giving me an
offers with
opportunity.
it.
No, thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about it. That's
There you go.
so. All right. So let's look at how we might approach this creatively. First off, does she have a mortgage? Do you know if she has a mortgage in place?
Nope, she's free and clear. I think the only thing she really owes on it is some past due taxes.
Do you know what that number is?
I do not.
Okay, so that's fine since you weren't approaching this at first this way, but this is one of the details that you want to know. What's in the rears that we need to get caught up in order to be able to make something happen? First off, if we were going to just not outright buy it in cash.
Right.
And the next question is, what kind of cash would they need in hand? Is there a number that they need to have in order to get out from this property, right? Ideally, we want to get into it as cheap as we can. We already know that. Like as a creative investor, our goal is to get into it as low as we can, because the cheaper that we can sell it to somebody else, generally we're going to sell at around 10% entry price. Meaning if this house is worth $420,000 and we were going to purchase it creatively, we would want to buy it at around 5% to 7% kind of top end so that we can make some money. Meaning 420 would be $21,000 entry at 5%. So that's maybe where top end we want to put in the seller's hand. And then we would seller finance, they would seller finance the rest back to us. Depending on the terms, they're going to make consistent cash flow every single month. So the question becomes, do you need all this cash in hand right now, or are you more open to an opportunity to make consistent cash flow? Often they're able to get a little bit more money, right? So for example, you at 296 right now. If you're going to want to get them at a cash price, you're going to go lower. You could potentially come to say, hey, if I could get you 310, would you be open to terms? Right? They're going to say, what do you mean terms? Right? Now you're going up in price. Everybody else is going down. Now you just went slightly up. Now I'm going to just throw a caveat out there, a little asterisk for you guys. Don't go crazy with this. Like Pace talks about how you have the ability to go higher than asking sometimes. And so people think that means I have to do this, and it doesn't. You don't have to go higher, and don't go too high. Don't over leverage and make the property worth more or worth less than what you're paying for it. We don't want that. But with the fact that you already got this discounted, you already got him open to a discounted rate. What's up, Bane? You got your hand raised?
No, finish your thought.
Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, the fact that he already has a price drop basically means that you have some pain, right? Some opportunity, right? So if we can position to give them slightly more, it's still going to be below the market price. It's not like you're going above that, right? Sometimes with this, people are like looking at properties that they're already looking at buying at a market price and then still go higher. So this might still work there. Go ahead, man.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I mean, sometimes you can get weird with it. Like if you did like 100,000 over asking, but like if they amortize it over 30 years and no balloon, we're still getting a huge discount, right? Because like if you calculate the interest rate that is right now, you'd be paying like, 500,000 in interest over that time period. So just make sure your numbers work is really it. Sometimes you could like blow their mind with that kind of number, but it's still like you're getting a good deal on it.
Very true. Very true. Thank you for jumping in there and sharing that as well, Bane. Terrell, first off, is it Terrell or is it Terrell?
It's Terrell.
Terrell.
And that was good information, by the way. That was great.
Cool. Glad to share some value. I know Bane added some there as well. So with that in mind, now you can approach this differently, right? So if they're like really needing a big cash payment, then they need to drop it down significantly from where they're at, get a cash payday. Like if I was you, I would try to get this at like 240, 250. Like it needs to be down there, right?
Mhm.
Or let's get them a little bit more money. See if we can't get terms, get enough in their hand that they can feel like they got a payday. Because keep in mind, for a normal person, for everyday Joe Blow out here on the street, $21,000 at one time is a huge come up. Like for an average American, they don't ever touch $21,000 at one time, which might say, you might be like, oh, Garrett, that's not true. That is dead ass true. Most people never touch that much money at one time. So 21,000 plus I'm making money every month might be a really good deal to this person, right? But now that you understand that, get a little bit deeper understanding of their pain and what their actual goals are, and you might be able to get an even better deal out of this.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, dude. Keep us posted. Let me know if you need help with that. If you need help negotiating, we can help craft that off.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
No doubt, man. Gregor, you got any more details? I saw your mic come live. You sent me the details.
No, I sent you the details on Facebook.
I'm gonna have to save this one for afterwards because that's gonna
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Who else? What else we got in here? Carly, you're a TC here? TC in training? Okay, let's chat. Can you chat with us?
Hey, yeah, I'm a TC in training.
Awesome. I'm assuming we're top tier.
We're top tier. Yeah, I haven't gotten my first file yet. That's why I entered in the No One Left Behind challenge. But I've been advertising, so hopefully I'll get a file soon so I can have some practice.
Awesome. Well, just yesterday we announced our partnership with Top Tier. So
That's awesome.
because of what we're building here and the scale in which I'm building towards, what we're really doing with Top Tier is connecting so that you can get more files to get done. Not just yourself, but obviously a lot of their interns need those files to get done. We are a community of wholesalers, a community of investors that generate all kinds of deals, right? So it just made sense for me to try to collab. Actually, Kelly Humbarger reached out to me at first. Phenomenal. Shout out
She's
to Kelly.
awesome.
Yeah, she's great. And I'm really excited for what we got going on with that collaboration as well. So I love that you're here. Let us know. Like I said, we got the Facebook community. There's a ton of people out there doing deals, but just being in here and being connected to others, like you'll find opportunities for sure.
Actually, just yesterday when Pace had his live for 2 hours, when he spoke about the No One Left Behind challenge, I was actually advertising for the first time and I actually got 4 leads. So that was pretty exciting.
There we go. Love it. I think that, and this is one of the things that Top Tier, I think, really sees value for me is that I can talk a lot about why we should work with a TC, why I think it's valuable, because I understand what it takes to be really good at marketing and really good at closing and working with sellers. And I understand all of the front side visionary part of the business. That's very much who I am. And that's why I absolutely 1000% know that I need somebody that is way slower paced, way more attentive to detail, and really going to make sure that my ass is covered to come behind me and make sure. I
100%.
never questioned that I needed that. I know some people do a lot of their own stuff. Even my man Hans, that has been helping us close some deals on the inbound Facebook leads. He was like, dude, I've been my own TC my whole time. I'm like, he's done like 100 deals, done all his own TC work. I'm like, dude,
that's insane.
No,
Without a virtual assistant?
I think he has like some VAs, yes, but like he has done all of it.
He's hands-on. Impressive.
I'm like, dude, shout out to you, but I'm like, I'm gonna pass it off to Top Tier as fast as we can. We're gonna get it. We're gonna say, hey, check what we got, and I'm gonna let them tell me the rest. That's the way I view it. I think it's super important. If you want, and the thing about it is a lot of people like, oh, I don't have a bunch of money. Okay, well, it's being passed off to the buyer almost all the time. It's almost always baked into that side. So it's not like you got to come out of pocket for it. It's literally like, I'm willing to take slightly less money maybe, but really they're going to pay for it. So you really shouldn't have to take any less money. I can't wrap my head around why somebody wouldn't want to use a TC, honestly.
I think it's the lack of knowledge that they have, that all the opportunities that they can have if they do have a TC on their team. I think it's getting passed around more now. Molly's speaking about it more. So I think a lot more investors are actually hiring TCs nowadays.
For sure. Well, that's one of the things I'm excited for is being able to connect our students with a TC. So our academy, now we've kind of shifted the structure of some of things, right? It's no longer about a period of time, right? And it's now shifted so that the students make more money, right? So now for the first 3 deals that we help you generate, close, dispo, do all together, right? There's a 70-30 split. The student makes 30%, right? We
Right.
have the closers that are needed, everything like that. We're going to also, during that 3 deal period, once you get your first contract as a student here, we'll be connected to one of their interns. And now your next 2 will also be their next 2, and they'll be able to graduate basically at the same time. So
Awesome.
that's the reason why this fits so perfectly together. And then, of course, the hope would be that you continue to work together moving forward, because that's why this is all put together that way. We want you to be able to find success, graduate their programs, and find a home with a wholesaler that I know is going to be doing a lot of deals, because they're going to be following what we've taught them. So really cool stuff to
I'm
see.
excited. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Jalen, you got your hand raised, brother?
Hey, can you hear me good?
I can.
Okay. You made a really good point when you were talking a little bit about creative as far as identifying pain points and goals. What are some of the questions that you're asking in order to uncover that on a deeper level?
Well, so one of the first things you got to keep, not just on the creative side, your goal really here in acquisitions is to ask as many questions as you can. Really, your goal is to find out as much as you can. So you want to use, let me see if I can get Chelsea in here. She's one of my team members that has made a ton of calls, and I would love to hear her answer this question as well. Let me see. It might be Chelsea here on the Zoom user. I can't ever tell. Let me see. Text her. So some questions that we can ask to get to identify goals and what their pain points are. So one of the first things that I ask, and I tell people to ask, is going to lead with, and I think a lot of people do this, like, what's got you wanting to leave the property, right? What's got you wanting to sell it? And they're going to pretty quickly tell you something, right? It's not always going to be the truth, but they're going to give you some kind of answer. And the key is to truly listen, right? And this is, and I'm going to tell you all of these answers, but I'm going to leave in full transparency the fact that there is a reason why I don't make too many of these, at this point, 0 outbound calls like that, cold calls or like direct to seller calls until it's been qualified. Because what I struggle with, what I struggle with is slowing down enough to really dig in deeper, right? So when I tell you this, I want you to understand do as I say, not as I do, right? So what I would want you to do here in this lead gen role is to really ask questions that are going to dig deeper to their pain point. So, for example, the one that we just talked about, where somebody died, they inherited the property, right? So we're going to ask, what's your game plan with this property? Are you planning on somebody moving into this property? Are you going to rent it? Right? I'm going to use questions that might, and this, I don't mean in a bad way, but it might create more pain points for them, right? So are you going to want to be a landlord? Do you want to go find somebody to rent and then like qualify them, move them into the property and like oversee that? Is that something that you're thinking about? And I'm going to let them tell me, no, that's not what I want. Right. So I'm going to ask a question that makes it seem bigger and scarier than it might even really be, because we don't want them to want to do that. We want them to want to sell it. Right. So I'm going to ask that kind of question. I'm going to ask them, what's your plan what's your next steps? So if maybe it's not a house they inherited, they're in the house, you're talking to a seller, what's your next steps? Where are you going from here? Do you have that outlined? This is also going to give you a good idea of what their timeline is. So if they say, oh, well, I haven't started looking yet, they're probably not that motivated. They're probably not looking to go that quick. If they're like, oh yeah, I already bought a house last week, I got to get rid of this one. Now you can tell they got a much more condensed timeline and more pain because they don't want to pay for both of them. Let's see here. Bane, you got any other ones that I'm missing here? Things that we can ask? He might have fell out. Looks like he fell out. To talk about their goals, one of the questions I would ask is like, what's more important to you? And overall, like, what your purchase price is, what your asking price is, or getting a certain amount of cash in hand, right? Because like some people need to get a certain chunk to pay off a debt or to do whatever. They know there's a number in their head that they have to get. So if they say, I need to have $150,000, right? But the house is only worth $250,000, there's some spread there, right? And so it creates some opportunity. If they say, no, I know the house is worth $250,000. I'm not in a rush to sell it. I've got all these lowball offers at $150,000 and I'm not interested in that. Now I can identify that their goal is more attached to the total purchase price. So I want to lean in that direction. Well, what if I, when I look at this property, I really think that I might even be worth a little bit more than 225. Honestly, like maybe I can get you a little bit more. Would you be open to a slightly higher purchase price if I was able to get terms that worked for both of us? You see what I'm saying? You want to get, what is their driver? Is it cash in hand right now, or is it what the overall value of the house is? Hopefully that answers your question a little bit there, Jalen.
100%. I definitely got some good notes off of that and some good questions just to keep in the back of my head when I am speaking with an agent or a seller.
Awesome. I see Bain jump back in here real quick. So Bain, any specific questions that come to mind for you that you can ask a seller to identify what their goals are and how we might be able to determine, are they better suited as a cash offer or a creative offer?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just getting to the root of like why they're selling, because there's a reason they sell, right? And they're 99% of the time you're not going to get that right off the bat. Like it's one of those things where you got to build rapport, you got to make them laugh, like you got to get them to trust you, and like really, because if you really do approach it like I'm trying to help this person, then they'll start to feel that, and you'll be like, listen, I can only help you if I understand the situation completely. Like, what are you trying to do so I can strategize that? And honestly, if you pitch them a few things like that have nothing to, like, you won't make money on this. Like, oh, sometimes I'll be like, hey, listen, like your best option honestly is to go with a realtor. Like maybe I can refer you to some realtors or something, but you should list this on the market if you're trying to get top dollar or whatever, and you don't have a time crunch. And sometimes they'll be like, well, something's going on. Like I actually do need like money up front. Like, it doesn't make sense. And then you'll start to get to the root of the issue and just approach it like a problem solving activity. Like, and the goal is to find out what their problem is. And then you can approach different strategies on how to solve it.
Great game right there. Absolutely. I think that's important, right? To kind of use the anti-effect, right? I'm sure there's a sales tactic title for this, but basically like, why don't you just list it? Knowing that if they list it, we're not going to make any money, but I want them to say that I want them to identify why they don't want to list it, because it's going to open up what he's talking about right there. So great point there. Carl, you got your hand raised as well?
Yes. Question. Will you be also teaching us the novation strategies?
Yep. What I'm going to do, so just so you guys fully understand the dynamic of this, I'm going to pull in experts at every single thing that there is, right? Every exit strategy, the different entries in regards to cash wholesaling, creative, all the different stuff, right? Because I love to learn from other people that are better than me at stuff. So I've got a couple guys, actually, Garen, one of our partners on the closing side, specializes in novations. They average like a $64,000 profit margin on their deals. So I'll be bringing in some of those guys to specifically hammer home each strategy. But yes, novations is huge right now, especially when we run ad campaigns on Facebook and we get leads in small towns that may not work for an investor. Run the novation and we're able to sell it on the market. So yes, absolutely, we'll cover that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Jalen, you got another question, or is that hand raised from before?
I apologize. It was still raised from before.
All good. Well, let's see here. Anybody else? Forgot to mention the seller. I'm under contact with, already spoke with a realtor before listing and would have came out to about $300K after selling it out on the market. So, Terrell, just making sure I understand that. What you're saying is that he spoke to a realtor and he would actually have walked away with $300,000 if he sells it on the market. Is that correct? Just about, yes. Okay. Then I would hit him straight up. Well, why didn't you do that? What's the reason why they didn't? I would assume if it's a property that was inherited, it's probably because they're going to have to bring some money to get the property to a point where it can actually sell on the market. That would be my assumption, without having talked to them at all. That would be what my thought is. But if they give you that, basically, this is what I want you to look at it like this. Like, if they're going to tell you they have some kind of other offer, or they have a solution, or they have their answer, then the question becomes, well, why are you talking to me then? If you already have this solution, and this solution was really what you were sold on, would you be entertaining me right now? And sometimes you got to get real with people. I mean, I'm not telling you to be too rugged, but sometimes once you've built that rapport, people are going to keep trying to hit you with some bullshit, right? They're going to be like, oh, no, I could go sell like this guy. One of the guys in Orlando, one of the properties I'm supposed to go walk tomorrow, his name is Frank. And he's telling me, oh, yeah, I could sell it on the market all day long at 555. And I said, well, what? Go do that, Frank. I think that's the best. I think that's the best thing for you. You'll make the most money that way if you just go list it on the market. Oh, well, and he's got some reason why it's not doing it right now, but I'm willing to do this for you. He wants to go down to 535. So we're not playing the same game, Frank. You want me to buy this on market at a market price without going on market, so you ain't got to put realtor fees. That's not how this game goes, right? Sometimes you got to hit people a little straight up, and that's for some of you guys might mean you got to bring in a heavier hitter, whether that's me or Garen or several other people that we have. Bain can help in certain circumstances, depending on what type of deal determines which negotiator basically will bring it in. Early stages, lean in on your team. You know, I actually work with a team of investors. Let me get one of my partners on here that can go deeper with you and let them come in and smack them over the head with some heavier negotiation. Rebecca, you got an email that says it was being reviewed. I'm not sure where that email came from. If you reach out to me on Facebook, I'll check it out with you. You should have gotten like a confirmation that it was received. And then you should also receive a separate email to sign, just an outline of the agreement of the terms. And then we can get things started for you from there. So if you don't find that, check your spam inbox. Annoyingly enough, it's been going to spam recently. That's because I've been sending out a lot more messages lately than we have before. So check that for me. If you still don't have those things, reach out to me and we'll get you locked in. Thanks, Rebecca. All right, guys. Well, I've got some messages to get sent out. I got some sellers to follow up with. We got some leads to generate so that we can have more opportunities for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one at just over an hour. I will be active again tomorrow, be live again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. If you have specific topics that you would like to cover, I'm always open to recommendations. The more that you guys engage here, the longer that we'll stay active. If it's just me talking for an hour, I get bored of that pretty fast. But the more that we build here together, the more that we'll do. We will have some other special guests coming in soon. Hans, that I mentioned earlier, will come in. He'll be doing some regular trainings on closing and negotiation as well. So I want you to focus right now on lead generation, focus right now on lead qualification, on what some people might call that acquisitions manager role. Don't try to, because if you try to go into this like, I got to close this person, I got to close this deal, and you're not yet prepared to negotiate from a position of confidence, you'll lose every single time. So don't go into this negotiation looking at how can I close this person and how can I convince this person to do that. Don't do that. Exactly like Bain said, go into it with a problem-solving mindset. Go into these conversations like, how can I help you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish? And keep that as your focus. You will find a way. If not, it's not a deal. But if it's a deal, we'll find a way to make it a deal and we will get you paid on it. You will make money off of helping people, off of serving people. If you go into it with a mindset of, I got to get this spread, or I'm trying to make this much money, or this is what I got to get it at. This is another terminology I hear people hear. This is what I would have to get into it at. They don't care what you have to do. They care about them, right? So you got to keep in mind your goal is to solve their problem right now. And then you get to be their friend. And I get to be the bad guy in their mind. Now it's you and them working against the finance team to get the terms that this person wants. Think about a car dealership. Think about a bank, right? There's two levels to that, right? You're going to have the person you talk to and the other person that they go talk to. They go stand over their desk like this and they don't say anything. They pretend like they're talking about something for 4 minutes. And then the sales rep comes back and says, oh, guess what, man? I got you a deal. That's the same dynamic that you're doing here. Same dynamic I ran in the gym back in the day. Your goal is to be their friend, be their problem solver, find a way to get them what they need. We on the backside will focus on being the finance team, helping you structure your offers, helping make sure that we can actually get things funded and or get them dispoed accordingly, so that we know that if we are getting deals locked up, it is something that we can sell. That's a huge thing that we see people do, is they get deals locked up and they can't even sell them. So that's a lot of what your focus is right now. Some of you will run faster than others. You'll be confident in getting deals closed. You'll be confident in making offers. Great. great. Like, don't slow down for me either. That's not what I'm telling you by any stretch of the means. But don't overextend yourself. If you don't have the confidence to close the deal yet, don't worry about it. Set an appointment, let somebody else come in and help you. You can watch, you can sit in on it, you can review the call recordings. The more calls that you guys do, the more we can do call reviews. So in the mornings, Bain does a daily dial, and we can also start to schedule regular call review sessions where we just go through, listen to what you did say and give you ideas on what you could have said. That easy. We can do role plays as much as you guys desire. We can get in and do all of this. It's all about how active you guys want to be. We've got Bain, we've got Danny and Eddie, we've got team leaders, Anna as well, people that are helping out. Lots more resources coming, especially as we announce this partnership with Top Tier. Lots of people want to play a part of what we got going on right now, guys. So I'm grateful that you guys are here. I'm grateful for an opportunity to partner together with you to help you get your first couple deals and then keep growing from there. That's what I do best, guys, as G Money, is I grow. Look, I just censored myself. You see that? I grow things. I help people grow. I help businesses grow. That's what I'm here for you as a resource. If you guys need anything, you know where to find me on Facebook. Also, just side note for some of you that are newer, if you can't reach me, Aaliyah, my assistant, who's in everywhere in all the groups as well, is a great resource to get tapped in a little bit faster. She can get things done sometimes for you, or just ask in the group, and then generally somebody can help you out. So any other questions before we slide off here and there? Thoughts, Jalen? I see you got your hand raised. I don't know if I keep putting you on the spot. It's probably the same thing, but I appreciate y'all for coming through. I will chat with you soon.